This is Andrew Penner for Shadows and Light, Episode 3. But why? If you've ever been around a young child, no doubt you've heard this question. Probably repeatedly. And it's a question you may be asking about me or this series. And like all good questions, there's a simple answer and a not so simple answer. So why am I starting this channel? Well, for a few reasons. Some are very practical, some are very hands-on, and some are a little bit deeper. I want to teach myself how to shoot video, how to edit video, how to schedule and post consistently, how to keep myself accountable to that schedule. So it's very much technical, strictly teaching level. But there's a deeper level. And this is the not so simple answer. If you've ever felt like no one understood what you were going through, if you've ever felt like you wished you could connect with someone who understood, if you've ever felt relief when you talk to someone and you're like, wow, they get it, then you'll start to understand why I'm starting this channel, or more specifically, why I'm starting this series called Shadows and Light. You see, for as long as I can remember, I've known I've been a bit different. In school, I didn't know what it was exactly. I do remember experiencing periods where I very strongly wished I could die. And that definitely didn't line up with my traditional, very reserved Christian upbringing. Part of the issue, of course, was that so little was known or accepted about mental illness at that point in my life. Part of the issue was there was no way I knew how to explain it. I didn't have the words for it, but even if I did, I knew that no one would really get it. Even at 42, I still feel like I don't fit with most people. I still feel like people don't understand. And in reality, most people don't. Current stats say 1 in 4 will experience a mental health crisis at any given year. Thankfully, most of those, it's a short period, several weeks, maybe a few months, and that's it. They go through this period, they experience depression or they experience anxiety symptoms. But few people, like myself, this is a chronic thing. This is a lifelong illness. But part of that is knowing and experiencing that feeling of isolation, that feeling of no one understands. And it's a horrible feeling. If you've ever gone through a situation and you felt like no one understands, or thinking these thoughts, or experiencing those emotions, that is horrible. And that is part 1 of why I'm doing this series. Now I want to add another layer. I talked about my faith and my belief. I hesitate to use the word Christianity, partly because, unfortunately, for a lot of people, that brings up a lot of negative connotations. I am a follower of Christ. But that doesn't mean I have a strong faith, and that doesn't mean I have all the answers. Quite the opposite. I believe because there have been situations in my life where the only reason I came out of it is 2 reasons. 1, I am incredibly lucky, just a lucky person from day 1. The other option is that there is a higher power, a spiritual force, not just a fluke of the universe, but someone who is genuinely interested in seeing me through and seeing me use the gifts that I have to help others. I don't need to look very far at my life circumstances to know that luck very rarely takes my side like I wish it would. So that leaves me the other option. I believe there is a God, yes. I believe Jesus Christ, his son, died on the cross for me, and I'm not going to get into the whole theology of that, maybe in another video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about that at some point. But with the current COVID-19 pandemic, people's mental health has taken a beating. There are far more people experiencing anxiety now than ever before. There's people experiencing job loss. There's people experiencing relationship breakdown, divorce, separation. People are experiencing loss, death of loved ones, family members, of friends, horrible things. But I think as a result of all those changes in the world that we've seen over the last 8 to 10 months, people are now looking, they're seeking, they're realizing so many of the things that they thought they could rely on, that they could put their trust in, have been shaken or maybe completely taken away. And I think a spin-off of that is that people are now looking for something real. They're looking for something authentic. I think a lot of people are searching for spiritual answers. I'm not the one who will have all the answers. But what I do think is that people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for not what I would call TV Christianity, the fake smiles, the happy songs, everything looking put together and polished. People are not looking for that kind of religion. And they've seen, unfortunately, a lot of that in Christianity, and it hasn't measured up when the rubber meets the road. And so what I'm trying to do with this series is bring my struggles with mental illness and my struggles with my faith and my struggles with my doubts and try and tie them all together. Not because I'm looking for a pity party. I'm not looking to be a leader in this. I'm not looking to be anything other than a comfort to people who are kind of struggling with the things I do. I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone in thinking these thoughts. I'm not alone in my struggles with my mental illness. I'm not alone in my struggles with my faith and my belief. And I'm certainly not alone when all three of those come crashing together. And that really is why I'm doing this. Yes, like I mentioned at the top of the video, there are practical reasons I'm doing this. There's stuff I want to learn. There's stuff I want to teach myself. I think it's valuable stuff I can learn and apply. But the real grit, the real truth of why I'm doing this is because I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to understand I don't have the answers, but I also want you to understand you're not alone in asking the questions you're asking. I'm doing it for you, and I want you to understand you're not alone. I have doubts. I question my faith. Some days I question my sanity. I wonder why I'm even bothering to do this. And the answer is for you. If you've got questions, if you've got stuff you want me to cover in a future video, I'd love to hear from you. Please drop something in the comments. Just know you're not alone. We'll get through this together. This is Andrew for Shadows and Light, Episode 3. But why? Talk to you next time.